Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There is a message that was sent to me by our dear brother. Strange things do happen in this world. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash. How are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I have come here on your platform and I want to tell you exactly how I joined Satanism. When I came here to South Africa, I don't want to lie to you. Life was just difficult for me. I used to go online, then I would search for the Church of Satan, and I used to send a lot of emails to them telling them that I just wanted to join their church. They responded to me and they told me that it was fine if I wanted to join. Then they couriered a Bible, their Satanic Bible. This was from America. I then picked it up. At that time there was this other woman that I was dating. She's South African, and I used her ID to get that parcel from America. She did not even know that the thing that I was doing, I was trying to join Satanism. She just thought that maybe it was just a parcel that was being couriered to me from America. I then received that Satanic Bible. I read that Bible I don't know how many times, and I then started worshiping the devil, and I started to understand what was happening in the spiritual realm. I kept on worshiping the devil until I grew tired. At that time, my brother, I don't want to lie to you, I was involved in the praise and worship. So the moment that I will start to worship, because I was someone who used to lead the praise, and then there was those that would lead us into deep worship. So I used to love to sing whilst people were dancing. That was when I had a dream, and I was told that when people are praising, there is nothing that happens in the spiritual realm. The danger is when people are worshiping, when they are talking to God. That is when that is where the danger is, and there is a lot of things that happen in the spiritual realm. And I then spoke with some of my present and worship team members, and I told them that I wanted now to sing the worship songs. Each and every time that I'll be singing the worship songs, as people will be worshiping and praying, I will then see a sort of like a dark cloud, more like a blanket. This dark cloud or the blanket, it will come, then it will cover the entire church, such that those that will be worshiping, their prayers won't be able to reach the heavens. And at that time, what will happen is that when people will be praying, I will then hear some voices that will tell me to pray, but not to pray to God, but to pray to some demons, like the demon of greed, the demon of lust. But most of the times I will be told to pray for the principality of lustfulness. And as I'll be praying, I used to see one angel, and this angel, I want people to understand that when you say that I have seen an angel, it can be a satanic angel, and you will think that the angel is a holy angel. This angel that will be sent by the principality of lustfulness, when it would come, it will be more like a beautiful woman, but this angel was always naked. Even I used to lust after that angel until I slept with it. So this angel would come, then it will start to walk around the church. So the moment that someone would feel something, when they would open their eyes, they would be looking at that naked angel, and will feel very attracted to that angel. But in the physical world, what will be happening is that in church, like when you are in church, you can say that this woman is attractive, and if it is a woman, the woman will say this man is very attractive, even though you will be controlling yourself not to lust after them. So the moment that you open your eyes, then you will look at that person that you think that they are attractive, then slowly but surely you will start to lust after them. If you are a man, you will be lusting after a woman that will be in church. If you are a woman, you will also be lusting after a man in that church. So in that church, there was now the spirit of prostitution. People were just sleeping with each other. The pastor was sleeping with women that were married. Everyone was just sleeping with each other. And I was told that my mission was done in that church. I waited, my brother. I don't want to lie. Mind you, all this while, I was not making any money at all. I was just struggling. And after that, that was when I was told that my new mission was to go to this other Pentecostal church. But this church, it has its origin in Zim, but it is all over the world. But it started in Zim. It is also a Pentecostal church. I was told that my mission was now to attack that church, but I was told that I was supposed to return back home. So I returned back home. And when I went on the bus, my brother, I come from Masvingo, but I was told that I was supposed to go to Harare. And in Harare, I did not know anyone. And in my entire life, I had never been to Harare. So I just went on the bus. Even the time when we were passing through our town in Masvingo, I was really nervous because where I was going to, I did not even know what was going to happen to me, and I did not have any money on me. I was just trusting the voice of the devil that was speaking with me. To my surprise, when we arrived at Roadport, then the moment that I stepped out of the bus and I was waiting for my small suitcase to be taken out of the bus, that was when this other very beautiful woman, she came and she spoke with me, and she said that I was supposed to follow her and I was not supposed to take my clothes. I said, why am I not supposed to take my suitcase? Because this is all that I have. That woman then said that those people that are going to steal your clothes, your suitcase, those people, they are going to take all of your bad luck. The reason as to why the devil was unable to give you money when you were still in South Africa, it is because in your family there is this curse, a generational curse that has been following your family. So even the devil has to respect the rules that were set by God. If you do something bad, then there is a spirit that will follow your generation until the covenant would have expired. That is the reason as to why the devil was unable to intervene. And when this woman told me everything, that was when I started to see that indeed everything that she was saying, it was making sense. You know, in our family, there used to be poverty, like a real poverty that stings. And when she said, let us go to my car, I then walked without even looking back. And I know that the guys that were working as bus conductors, the ones that stole my suitcase that had my clothes, those ones, all that they did was to invite that spirit of bad luck into their family, in their bloodline, until the covenant would have expired. I asked that woman, and she said that this covenant, it can only expire after 72 years, and most of these spirits, they do not want to return back to hell, so they would always find a way for that contract to be renewed so that they can stay in that family. So we then went to that woman's house. When we arrived at her house, which is in Malborin, that was when this woman said that we had to do a ceremony. So we waited for some other guys, and when these guys came, that was when the ceremony came. It was more like an orgy. There were a lot of guys. Some of them, they were sleeping with each other. But on that night, since I had never slept with another man, I was told to only sleep with that woman. And before we had slept with each other, there were some human skulls. There were 29 of them that were taken out. Then these human skulls, they were laid all over the floor. Then the orgy started, and I saw a lot of demonic spirits that came and entered into my body. So these demonic spirits, the way that they came, some of them they were snakes and some of them they were frogs, because the demons, when they come out of hell, they do not have any bodies, so they will look for any living creature to possess. It does not matter if it is a frog, a snake, or a human being. So if it happens that these demons, they cannot find a human being to possess, they always opt to possess a snake. So I saw some snakes that came and they entered into my body. That is how I got possessed by the demons that I use. So the demons that were assigned to me, there were 5 demons, but I cannot tell you the names of those demons and the way that they operate. I was then told to relocate back to South Africa. When I relocated back to South Africa, my target was this other woman, a South African woman who is married to a Nigerian pastor. I came here to Johannesburg. Then I started to attend their church. At first, I was someone who used to sit like at the back, or rather, I would opt to sit in the overflow tent, because at that church during those days, a lot of people, they used to come to attend the church. The man, he was someone who had a spiritual calling, but his weakness was women and money, but he had been fighting that spirit for a very long time. And this was my mission. When I first came to that church, the reason as to why I would opt to sit at the back, it was because each and every time when he would say Holy Spirit, then I'll see flames coming out of his mouth, and I was scared of that. So I used to sit at the back of the church or in the overflow, because when I'll be sitting in the overflow, at least it was not that hot, because in church I used to get so hot each and every time when you will be preaching. I then started crawling into the church. I first became an usher. I used to target those people that I saw that they were full of sin. I don't know what these Christians can do. If there was a way for them to audit some of these people that have some positions in their church, we always find a loophole, and we always find a weak link through these church members that will be having some positions in church. The woman that I attacked, this woman, she was someone who was struggling in life. And the moment that I attended at that church, that was when I proposed love to her, but she was dating 2 other guys until she introduced me to the head of the ushering department. And then I became an usher. When I became an usher, that was when I started to invite demons in the church. There were some people that who were like me that would come to that same church, and I used to strengthen them, and I would give them positions to sit in church where I knew that this side of the church, the people that sit there, like they are those Christians that just come to church but do not come to worship or to pray. So I would make them to go and sit behind those people, so that when this pastor will be preaching, then they won't feel hot like the way that I used to feel very hot. I was an usher until I joined the praise and worship team, and I want people to know that the main target in church, the most targeted people are those ones that are in the praise and worship team, because that is where a lot of stuff happens spiritually. So when I joined the praise and worship team, there were a lot of guys. Those guys, yes, they were not holy, but they had the desire to be holy. And these guys, they had their weaknesses. I studied them one by one, and I was able to make them to fall into sin. And the easiest sin that can make any human being fall into is the sin of lusting. So I invited the spirit of lustfulness. That was when I felt that the church was growing colder and colder by the day. I was even able now to sit in front when the pastor will be preaching, because the first few days when he will be preaching, then I would go to the bathroom and wash my face and wash my armpits, so that at least I can feel a little bit cold, because whenever you'll be preaching, it will just be hot. So when the church grew cold, I was now able to do a lot of stuff. I was now able to approach his wife, and I then started dating his wife. And through the pastor's wife, I was able to destroy this church from within. Yes, the church is still there. There are a lot of people that still goes to that church, but let me tell you something about that church. It is now more like a social gathering. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our brother right there. So now he is saying that he is busy working on his new project, the mission to destroy another church from them from within. Strange things do happen in this world. He says that very soon you are going to hear a lot of scandals that will be coming out of that church. Yo,